Hi, this is Wendy Boulevard. I wanted to come to you with 20 signs of a psychopath. First, superficial charm and charisma. While they truly lack empathy, they are often very skilled at faking pro-social behaviors like flattery, kindness, and fake sympathy. They may use these skills to get things that they want people to do for them, but eventually they are unable to keep up the act. Over time, the charm and charisma will probably wear off, unmasking an underlying coldness or cruelty, unnecessary cruelty or mean streaks. These may involve gossiping, biting comments, lashing out aggressively at others, or laughing or being entertained when they hurt or embarrass someone. Cruelty and meanness are hallmark signs of a psychopath and often lead to a pattern of violating other people's rights. Lies, exaggerations, and dishonesty. Many sociopaths are prone to pathological lying. They may exaggerate the truth to get their own way, inflate their ego, or get others to think, feel, or do what they want them to. Most normal people and nice people feel guilty or at least a little worried about being caught in a lie, but a psychopath lacks of conscience makes lying a guilt-free activity. In fact, deception is even listed as a symptom of ASPD, associated personality disorder, or it's an antisocial personality disorder. Excuse me on that. Lack of accountability and playing the blame game. Psychopaths commit some of the most cruel, violent, and heinous acts in society, but they rarely take responsibility for their own actions. Instead, they are most likely to blame other people, make excuses, or try to justify their actions no matter how bad they are. The signs of a psychopath is a lack of moral conscience, empathy, meaning they do not have the same sense of right and wrong that most people do. Need of power, control, and dominance. Most psychopaths seek out positions of power and authority because they enjoy dominating and controlling other people. According to some research, psychopaths are slightly more likely to seek out and secure positions in leadership in the corporate world, suggesting there is a gain of truth in the stereotype of psychopathic CEOs. There is also a known overlap between psychopathic narcissism, and that is which can lead to a hunger for power and control. They statistically enjoy pain and suffering, so they get off on your pain and suffering. They take a sixth sense of pleasure from the pain and suffering of other people, and some psychopathic people, the pain of others is sexual arousement, and in others, the pleasure of non-sexual, and has more to do with the excitement, power, or the rush of the experience. Not all psychopaths are the same, but this quality is not an uncommon trait in a psychopath. So they get off on it. Boredom and thrill-seeking behavior, because psychopaths lack some of the normal emotionally wiring that most people have. It takes a lot more to excite them, make them happy, or give them a thrill. Psychopaths are often less impulsive than sociopaths because they aren't driven by strong emotions, but their dulled emotions response may cause them to seek out thrills. This may be why psychopaths are more likely to engage in crimes, violence, sexual acts, drugs, and alcohol use. Disregarding the rules, laws, and norms. Psychopaths do not follow the same codes of ethics as most people in society, which is they often behave in immoral and evil, even illegal ways. These may include minor offenses like inappropriate comments or profanity, or more serious offenses like crimes and violence. While not all psychopaths are violent criminals, a very high percentage of people who commit crimes, especially violent crimes, have psychopathic tendencies. Unaffected and unafraid of consequences, most of them live with no fear of the consequences that will happen to them. They do not believe that the consequences include them. So they do whatever they want to do, and they do not have any fear of consequences. Detachment, cold, and callous demeanors. Researchers believe that psychopaths do not have the same emotional wiring as normal people, which is why they often display a cold, callous, and detached demeanor. The difference in the structure of their brain is believed to limit their ability to experience a normal range of human feelings, making them less likely to experience strong emotions. In situations when others are sad, upset, anxious, or excited, a psychopath may seem oddly detached. A history of childhood behavior problems. Antisocial people, personality disorder can be diagnosed only after the age of 18 but the signs and symptoms usually begin in childhood or early adolescence. Most psychopaths show signs of conduct disorder before the age of 15, and most severely, psychopaths may be able to track their behavior issues to before the age of 10. Kind of sad. So what's going on in the house? Signs of a sociopath in childhood include frequent fighting, lying, stealing, cruelty to animals and other children, and a disregard for rules or authority. A trail of short, broken relationships. Psychopaths lack the ability to empathize with other people, so it makes sense that they have trouble forming or maintaining close relationships with people. While they may be able to use their charm or power of persuasion to pull people into liking them, they usually lack the ability to maintain those relationships over time. That is very true. Exploitation of others for personal gain. A sociopath will use, abuse, and exploit others, especially when it means getting something that they want in their pursuit for power, wealth, fame, and so on. There are no limits they won't go to in order to get what they want. This is bound to leave many casualties in their path, and a sociopath will have no remorse when they need to throw someone under the bus in order to get ahead, even when this is someone who has helped them along the way. They do calculated and strategic planning. While a sociopath, are more driven by emotions, a psychopath is more cool-headed and calculated in his decision making. This can make them more dangerous, and because it's not as easy to predict what they will do or when they will make their move, some psychopaths devise detailed plans on how to con, exploit, or take advantage of people who are naturally generous, kind, and trusting. A lack of conscience. Even when they harm others, a psychopath will not feel generally remorse for their actions, and they may not even be fazed by the consequences of their actions when they are in trouble. Abnormal way of thinking. Abnormal thoughts are common in psychopaths because their brains are wired differently. This could cause them to make strange, odd, or off-putting comments or observations during normal conversations. Poor attention span, lack of interest. One of the least common signs of a psychopath is a poor attention span, which can show up in similar ways as symptoms of ADD or ADHD. A psychopath becomes easily bored with activities, tasks, or people, and is always looking for something more exciting or entertaining to do or see. This can also lead them to quickly lose interest in a goal, project, or relationship that seems very important to them. This may also be linked to a pattern of irresponsibility, decision-making, or abandoning obligations or projects before finishing them. Violent tendencies, abuse, or aggression. One of the most dangerous signs of a psychopath is its tendency towards violence, aggression, and abuse. Psychopathic is one of the strongest predators of violent behavior, including violent crimes or sexual violence. Unfortunately, many violent psychopaths will reoffend even after receiving treatment, rehabilitation, or serving prison time, or having other legal consequences. Hostility. And another one of the psychopathic trends is that they are hostile. They have hostile demeanors. While they pretend to be friendly, kind, and charming for a short time, their true nature is much more aggressive. Psychopaths are most likely to hold racist, sexist views towards others, and may also be more hostile to one type of person or unkind ways. Masters of deception. This is number 20. A final warning for the psychopath is a person who seems to be especially skilled at the art of deception. Psychopaths are masters of deception and use lies, distortion, and truth, gaslighting, and other dishonest tendencies to emotionally manipulate other people and false representations of the truth. Unfortunately, the psychopath in treatment may use these deceiving tactics to fool the counselors and treatment providers into thinking that they have improved. So the best thing I could tell you with this is to move on, because obviously there's some deep-seated behavior in this person, and the only way you're gonna be able to have a good relationship is to find someone else. So God bless you and have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.